What's up, guys? Good morning. All right. So I've been a little sick for the last 2 days or so. So it may sound a little bit raspy this morning, but hope everyone had a good long weekend. Watching NVCN, penny stock gapping up to, right now it's sitting at 98 cents. Gapping up from about 75, so gapping up about 25% or so. Went much higher than that, went all the way up to 145, gave back some of these gains already. Also watching STAF. Both of these stocks I've seen move before, but this one's gapping up from 204 to 315. Also looking at CRON, CRON, gapping up from 1490 to 1580. Had a really nice green day Friday for CRON. And of course watching AMD again, gapping down from 2077 to 2047. CGC about break even. BPTH gapping up some after a big up gap Friday, and then it washed out some Friday during the day. Watching NBEV with the red day. EDU gapping up some from 65.90 to 68.88. We have PETS gapping down. PetMed Express. We have Mark gapping up, and then we have the overall SPY, which is down some. Drinking some orange juice this morning. Good morning, Missouri. Bill, Netron, Daniel, Pun, Arians. What's up, world? Alir, John O, Jack, Daniel, Andy, Cargo, Johnny, UQM. It's gapping, but it just doesn't have any volatility. I don't know what's going on with it. It looks like, I don't know. I'll have to look this one up. What's up, Bamboo? Because, yeah, it's gapping up some. It just doesn't look like it has much volatility. Yeah, that's how I was thinking it. It looks like an acquisition, buyout, something like that. Yeah, so UQM signed a definitive agreement to be acquired by Dan FOSS, Dan Foss. And so yeah, it's a buyout agreement. Let's see what the buyout price. 171 per share. It's at 164. I mean, that's basically it, I think, with this one. It's just a buyout. Signed a contract for it. Yep, just look that one up. We can look up NVCN as well. NVCN. NVCN apparently is up after it settled Edward Life Sciences patent case. They said that they settled a patent infringement lawsuit by Edwards Life Sciences. They said the case was filed in the Federal Court of Canada against Neovasc, Boston Scientific, and Liva Nova, and they're going to be dismissed on a no-cost basis. And then Edward Life Sciences and Boston Scientific last week agreed to settle their patent disputes. And so that's good news for NVCN. It's causing it to gap up some. Also looking at CRON. CRON is up. So High Times expanded their conference portfolio in Europe with a $7 million acquisition of Spanibus. So yeah, High Times purchased Spain's Spanibus for $7 million in cash and stock, plus milestone payments. Wait, so is CRON actually High Times? I'm trying to figure that out. Is CRON High Times? Because that's what's pulling up when I pull this news up. I don't see any ticker symbol for this one. Yeah, I actually use Weeble's app to look it up. It's easy. Yeah, for sure. Or you could just use Thinkorswim. It's probably the easier route. But we also have UA gapping up, Under Armour, KOLD. It's up some, looks good. CGC looks alright. EDU gapping up some, low volume though. Honestly, the volume looks pretty low today. I mean, we have some penny stocks that are running, but aside from that, the volume's still looking a little low right now. TCON. No volume on that gap up. We'll see what that one does. That one overall has pretty low volume. But yeah, guys, I feel pretty terrible. Been sick for the last 3 days or so. 2 days. Yeah, it's a little slow right now, honestly, two-way. Nothing really has that good of volume. Like, I'm looking at some of these, but mostly penny stocks that are running. We also have eBay that's moving some. eBay's actually gapping up. This one doesn't look terrible. Let's see what eBay's gapping up. It's probably earnings, I'm guessing. Okay, so eBay is up after Elliott Management Corporation released a letter to their management. And the letter lays out a 5-step plan that Elliott Management argued could lead to a valuation of $55 to $63 per eBay share by the end of 2020. eBay is currently at $34.50, gapping up from $31. And so that's good news for eBay. I think it's a little bit of fluff news. I mean, I don't think it's actually it's all kind of speculation, like, oh, I think we could get it up to this much, I think that's a little, fluffy for news. You know what I mean? Like is it relevant? Yes. Is it enough to make eBay go up this much? I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that one. I mean, no, I drink water, Jack. Actually, I don't like. I gave up Cokes. Like, I don't drink Coca Colas anymore. Like too much sugar. Like I just drink water. Like I drink coffee in the morning and then water throughout the rest of the day. I think it's just I have two different kids that go to two different schools that get sick, and so the whole house gets it. What's up, Mike? Mike, yo, yo. What's up, bro? All right, we got eBay starting to push though. It's at 31 now. SRNE. What's up, Abby? SRNE looks alright. It's still pretty low volume though. Oh, what else do we have today? EDU, I guess. EDU up. Sounds like it's 2000 second quarter earnings. Yeah, it reported a fiscal second quarter loss of 25.8 million after reporting a profit in the same period a year earlier. On a per share basis, the Beijing company said it had a loss of 16 cents. It posted revenue of around 600 million, 597.1 million. It's up 20% since this year, 35% in the last 12 months. Let's look at the daily chart. Yeah, STAF is definitely what I'm watching. Big gap up here. If you look at, this is the thing though, if you look at the daily chart, every time this thing spikes, it fails. And so, you know, if you look at each daily chart, every single time this thing comes up, it usually comes down. You know, May of last year, spike fail. July of last year, big spike, big fail. August of last year, spike fail. Again in August, spike and fail. Small spike in November, fail. Small spike in December, fail. Small spike a few days ago and it failed. And so every single time this one spikes, it typically comes right back down. And now I don't know if people really want to see that. A lot of people are probably getting hyped up in this thing, but every single time it spikes, it fails, at least from the chart I see. And so I kind of have to have the same thought with it. Although I will say this though, this spike has substantially more volume than it usually does. Let's see how far back I can go. There we go. Yeah, usually it ends up coming right back down. Here's a good example of it. This was on August of last year, spiked and then it failed. And I gave it back, did the same thing. Prior to that, did kind of the same move. So yeah, I'm looking at this one for a potential wash, but we'll see. Right, exactly, Luke. I can't trade it anyway. I mean, I'm not going to be able to trade it, but it looks alright. QQQ. What is QQQ? Isn't it a Is this an ETF? It sounds like one. Let me look it up. Yeah, it's a Power Shares QQQ Trust. All right, but we also have PETS, which is down some. Pets Med. Gapping down from 2344 to 1995 here. I mean, I'm not really seeing anything new out for this one. They're supposed to announce earnings today. I'm guessing earnings weren't that great. I know they're supposed to announce earnings, but I don't see anything in the one I'm using. Let me look it up on Thinkorswim. All right, yeah, they did have earnings come out. So PETS, they reported early today that their fiscal quarter 3 earnings of 38 cents per diluted share were down from 44 cents per share a year ago, and also below the 48-cent average estimate from analysts polled by Capital IQ. It's a worse than expected results for PETS and worse than last year as well. It's causing it to gap down from 23.44 to 19.95. So yeah, that one's down. We also have MARK. Kind of had a little bit of volume spike Friday afternoon. And then right now it's just kind of moving in pre-market. Not a ton of volume though. Cejudo is the GOAT. Man, I don't know, man. He's definitely not the GOAT. I like Cejudo, but he's definitely not the GOAT. I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, and he starched TJ. You know? Like, he definitely starched TJ, but would I call him the GOAT? Probably not. I mean, he's just lost to subpar competition too many times to be the GOAT. Is he good? Yeah. You know, I think he's good. Did he actually beat TJ? Yeah. I think it was a legit stoppage, too. I don't think it was an early stoppage. I think everybody's just kind of whining about it. Yeah, nobody remind me about the Saints game last weekend, man. Saints game was terrible. That ref robbed us. You know, and this is the problem, right? They got refs that are from Los Angeles refereeing in a game when the Saints are playing Los Angeles. You know, and they got a dude that used to play for the Rams being the referee for the Saints versus the Rams. And so it's, I don't even want to talk about it, but we got robbed there. I will say that. Yeah, it was terrible, man. It should be us versus the Patriots. You know, then me and Jason could have like a funny Discord with that. But no, you know, they robbed us. Absolutely robbed us. You know. And it's all really, the truth is it comes down to money. You know, the truth is it comes down to money because the Rams are a new team in Los Angeles. They're a new team in Los Angeles, and they probably think that they can make more money from Los Angeles going to the Super Bowl than they could from the Saints. You know, they also maybe want to get it established a little bit more. They probably want to get, you know, the Rams established a little more since they just moved and everything like that. So it comes down to money, but it's just terrible, you know. It makes you kind of see that no matter what, they're going to try to control it as much as they can. Yeah, Brady's the GOAT for sure, though. All right, so kind of a slow day today, guys. Not too much moving right now. We should have Mitch in here sometime soon. Let me see where Mitch is at. ETFs, I mean, which it depends on what kind of ETF. Like I could look at UVXY. I mean, I wouldn't say it has like above average volume really. Probably about average for ETFs. It all depends on what the SPY's doing. So the SPY, whoa, look at the volume spike on the SPY really quick. Oh, it was just a glitch. Cron doesn't look that bad. Let's see. MBEV looks alright. Low volume for this one as well. Yeah, I mean, that's about right, Jason. STAF probably has some of the best volume. NVCN didn't look bad either. It had this big push up to 145, and then it kind of gave some back. It's not tradable for me, but this that $1 level looks interesting to see if it's going to hold over this $1 point, if it's going to break under it, what's going to happen here. And like I said, yeah, STAF looks pretty good as well. This one had its patent, like some type of lawsuit, if I can remember correctly, dropped on this one. And so, or their patent case dropped, and so that was good news for them. I think it was STAF. But yeah, then we have CRON, which doesn't look terrible. It's moving some, gapping up some from 1490 to 1524. That one doesn't look terrible. DGAZ and UGAZ, those are natural gas ETFs, right? If I can remember correctly, that's what they are. I have to look up the news on this one to see what the deal is for it. Hold on one second, let me do that. I can look it up, hold on. I mean, these don't really have news. Let me look that news up. I mean, I'm looking it up on Yahoo Finance. So they're saying the gap lower in natural gas shows there's more of a proclivity to going to the downside. And they think rallies will continue to be sold in general. Yeah, they said it was overall quiet for Martin Luther King Day. What's up, Isaac? Yeah, let's just look at gas. I mean, it's down some after the market took the hit. Is it an inverse ETF, though? What's up, Isaac? Good morning, man. The Chinese market took a hit. Future's not looking good. Let's look up some news really quick. So Google was fined $57 million under a new European law. Let's look at Tesla, see what Tesla's doing as well. Big red day for Tesla, or big red week for Tesla last week. Down about 15%, it looks like. COST spiking up. Costco. I mean, it has low volume though. It moved up some Friday, but today it just has low volume. We'll see what we get with that one. Oh, I got that way too loud. Appreciate the sub, Rahan. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Juan as well. Chester. Welcome, guys. What's up, Jay? Do I ever use options? Yeah, I do sometimes. I usually buy options, like just play around with it on Robinhood. Yeah, TAK is up. KTOV two-way. Let's look at KTOV. Low volume. TAK, which is a bio stock, it looks like, is up from 1978 to 2025 here. Sale of $3 billion in emerging markets. So yeah, TAK is considering a sale of some emerging market drugs as the Japanese drug maker expands a push to cut debt after a $62 billion takeover of Shire PLC. It's working with Bank of America. So yeah, it's just up on rumors and speculation from that news. They're thinking about a sale of $3 billion of emerging markets. I probably will, Luke. He said, are you doing the opening range breakout today? So I probably will. Look at AMD here. I don't know if this is a glitch as well. Yeah, it was. This is so it looks like it's following the SPY to it somewhat. Like if you look at the SPY, it looks pretty close to what AMD's doing and what the SPY's doing today. So they look to be following each other today. I'll probably trade it. The thing about it is, though, so last week I had only one winning trade and 4 losing trades with the opening range breakout last week. And I was able to kind of make some back with a few trades after that. So I think that I have to think about how I'm approaching it, right? And so I think one of the things is like, somebody mentioned it in a comment, and I actually agree with it here, which is like, instead of just jumping in as soon as it breaks the high, maybe waiting for it to hold under those levels before jumping in. If I'm looking to take advantage of a little bit more long-term play, I think that makes a lot more sense. That or waiting for a candle to open up past that previous high or low, I think that makes sense as well. Last week the washout long, the red to green move on a 5-minute chart worked ridiculously well for AMD. Like if you look at AMD last week, it was a red to green move on Friday, Thursday here, none Wednesday, none Tuesday. But the washout long red to green move has been working really, really well for AMD. So I'll look at that as well. That'll be kind of another option that I'm thinking about using. I use a few different things. I use Thinkorswim. Johnny, I use Thinkorswim, which is really easy, probably really up-to-date news. I also use Webull. All right, there we go. We got Mitch here. All right, we got Mitch here, guys. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but what's up, Houston? Good morning. I'll give it a shot, but I think it's still a little early to tell. I think that I think that you have to have a decent sample size to get any reasonable expectation from a strategy, and I think that 5 days is just a little early to tell. I think that there probably should be a little bit better way to approach it. But yeah, I think really like I was trying to explain to people, haters tend to come out if I have a rough week, and losing weeks are going to happen, you know. But what's up? What's up, brother? What's up, man? Let me unmute myself. Yo, yo, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? All right, guys, we got Mitch here. Oh wait, hold on. Let me change the settings. They can't hear you. Hold on. All right, say something.
What's going on, guys? How we doing? How we doing?
Yeah, there you go. You're back in there. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Hold it down, Mitch. I'll be right back, bro.
All right, guys. Well, today we'll be looking for the 264s to break on the SPY or this level to get back above this 266 on the long side. Um, Not looking for much out there right now. Maybe it's just me, but maybe AMRN, MU, DVAX. What's up, Jack? How we doing? Oh, two-way, keeping an eye on KBSF. It's a known runner. I'm glad John's not here, so I don't have to make fun of his Saints. All right. Important levels for MU are going to be 35, 19, or above 35, 50. One of the ones I'm watching also is AMRN to either break out and get above the downward trending line on the 60-minute. Also, you can look at it on a 15-minute. I like using the 60-minute. I feel like I see a big pattern there. Nice flag pattern. Has 3 resistance touches. Now just needs to hold support there at that 681 range here. Let's see the bottom of that. 685. Let's see if it holds at that 685 range. If not, comes down to the support of 1631. This is one I'm watching also, keeping a close eye on it. Of course, the weed stocks, the strongest one on the long side looks like APHA right now. Weak sides look like MBEV, ACB. Of course, you can always watch Cron. I'm gonna take a look at Cron this morning. Let me see what I see. Nothing much, just gapping up slowly. Uh, Big support there at 1475. See that crack? You could tackle that on the downside. All right, guys, getting ready for the market here. It's all good, Isaiah. You can hate. It's all good. I think you're on the other side of that Ram side.
All right, guys, I'm back. Boo, Isaac. Yeah, man. Saints were robbed, bro. Saints were robbed. Yeah, man. I am sick, bro. It's been a terrible weekend, man. Ugh. But yeah, man. Saints were robbed. Um, it comes in the end. Like if you research it, like the NFL has so much control over who wins. Yeah, I was looking at staff, Lucas. It does look interesting here. STAF. It's gapping up some. It has a nice little channel that formed here that looks pretty interesting. In between about 340 and $3, and so I'll be watching that for sure. See which way this thing breaks. The news on staff, I believe, was a patent lawsuit that was dropped, is what I think it was. So, like, a patent lawsuit was dropped on STAF. I can look it up just to confirm it, but I'm pretty sure that's what the news was on STAF. I'm sure two-way knows. Let me see. Oh no, STAF signed their largest client to a multi-year contract, or re-signed, I should say. And so yeah, it states a company executing an international buy, integrate, build strategy through the acquisition of staffing organizations in the U.S. and the U.K. They announced that one of its UK businesses, which is Clement May, re-signed British American Tobacco, which is BAT, to provide resource process outsourcing and staffing services. So they basically re-signed one of their largest clients for a multi-year contract, and so that's pretty good news for it. And it's up some. It's still pretty cheap stock. We'll see if it can actually hold over this $3 level or where these lows are right here in pre-market. CBAT, good swing trade. Yeah, it didn't look bad. Started to make a little bit of a push. Daily chart looks pretty good. I mean, it's a relatively new stock. It only IPO'd in November, it looks like, but it's been moving some since then. It's kind of definitely some volatility though. It went from about $92 down to 23, back up to 105. So there's definitely some volatility with CBAT. It's not one of those ones that I really like holding long term. KBSF. KBSF moving some as well. We'll see what this one gives us. Let's see. Looking at AMD, Cron, pretty slow aside from that though. We got some cannabis stocks that are moving some, like CRON. Gonna be watching the SPY to see how close AMD follows the SPY. Been pretty close since Friday though. Friday looked pretty close here. We'll see what we get with this. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I bet they are. Insurance says quite a bit of money for staff. Those contracts are lucrative. I bet, man. Um, I mean, it's definitely showing it in the market. Like staff is up a ton here, and so it's definitely showing that those moves. But we'll see if it holds these gains or not. For sure, insurance, definitely, man. All right, guys, we got about a minute left, so let's do this. I got you, two-way. All right, let's do this. All right, we got the scans up. I'm ready. All right, guys, we got 30 seconds, so good luck, everybody. Look at EDU, though. EDU's up a ton as well. Really made a push in the last, like, 10 minutes or so. All right, opening bell's coming in 8 minutes, guys. 8 minutes. Good luck. There's the bell. All right, so AMD's pushing up and the SPY's pushing down. Well, the SPY's back up some. I just want to make sure AMD and the SPY follow each other. All right, guys. Yeah, STAF went up to 340s and then kind of came right back down. So, like, we'll see what we get. It doesn't look like AMD and the SPY's really following each other that much right now. Well, I don't know. AMD needs to break out of the range first. Like, you see the high right here. And the SPY's pushing up some, but staff is giving it back here. Staff is washing out some. Cron down. EDU spiking up there. Pets giving a little spike as well. KBSF popping up on the scanners. Alright, so we'll see what we get here. AMD's pushing up. The SPY is coming back down some. AMD just broke the highs. Let's look at the 5 minute. Realistically, it's only about a 15-cent range, so it's not a terrible range right now, but the SPY is actually breaking the lows of the day here. So the SPY is actually breaking down while AMD's pushing up, and so they're kind of not trading with each other right now. Cron's starting to break up on the upside here. KBSF washing out some. Look at EDU, guys. I know it's a little bit more expensive than what y'all usually trade, but EDU, look at this spike here. It's up $7 already since the open. So a big move here for EDU. All right, and now AMD is starting to follow the SPY a little bit closer here. Alright, so it does actually look like AMD's following the SPY now. SPY broke the lows, AMD broke the lows, which is typically pretty good. Let's pop it up on the scanners. But yeah, look at EDU here. Monster breakout. TAL popping up on my scanners. TAL, look at this breakout as well. Big move for TAL. We also have SES, CBAT breaking out. Penny stocks if you like to play these penny plays. UA breaking out some. But yeah, okay, so AMD and the SPY aren't really following each other. At least from what I see. The SPY's down, AMD is breaking out on the upside. Y'all can hear that? Man, my mic is better than I think it is, man. Mic. So y'all can hear those sirens, man. My mic was a good investment, man. That thing works. Alright, so STAF actually kind of looks like a fade here. I can't trade it, unfortunately, but STAF doesn't look terrible. Alright, so with all this said, I could look at the opening range breakout on AMD, but not really looking much like I want it to. Kind of trading against the SPY, and I'm a little worried it's going to be a little too choppy here. See, the range is about from 65 down to 37. So about 27 cents or so in the range. Still gotta look strong though, honestly.
Short Tiva 857s.
Yeah, AMD looks like it might have been a good opening range breakout this morning. It's up 10 cents from where I would have entered it, but it wasn't following the SPY. And so when it's not following the SPY, I got to be a little bit more careful with it. But yeah, it may have worked this morning. Kind of goes to show how you got to take it if it works. But I also think it's not following the SPY, and so I think it's all right. But would have been a nice move so far. Hey, appreciate the sub, Tao. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, there it goes. So AMD would have been a successful opening range breakout this morning. I just didn't take it. Kind of how it goes, though. Probably my fault for not taking it. Like I said, the reason I didn't take it was because it didn't follow the SPY. But there it goes. Would have been a nice breakout. Let's see when I would have gotten my 1-to-1 from it. So from 60, it's about 27-inch range on AMD. 66 up to 96 would be a follow through of the pattern, or about 92. But probably could have taken profits from this one at least once already. Let's see what else we get. NVCN popping up on the scanners. It was one of the big movers. So the SPY's pulling down some now. We'll see if AMD follows it at all. But yeah, definitely would have been a successful one this morning on AMD. Aside from that, I'm not really seeing too much that's really moving in this market. What is Cron doing? Cron breaking out here. Nice move. Let's see where. Of course, though, we get the beautiful opening range breakout on AMD this morning. There's the follow through right there. So yeah, my fault. Like I said, I think when I take a strategy, I have to just kind of stick with it. And I'm not super disappointed because it's not really following the SPY. Like if you look at the SPY here, the SPY is actually heading down. And so not super upset about it, but definitely missed it this morning. Could have taken it. But the SPY is washing out, breaking under the lows. What about CGC here? So I'm probably just going to look for fades now that I missed the opening range breakout on AMD and go back to using it tomorrow. With this, though, I could take it down here, giving myself the same risk, but I'll probably wait. But it would have been a beautiful example of it, giving me that 1-to-1 for sure from 65, 38. So that is
added there on Tiva.
20.
Have an average of 1859, 600 shares, risking off 65.
If I would, it depends. I was thinking about taking 300 shares, so probably about $90, $80, $90 is what I would have made if I would have taken 300 shares sold at the 1-to-1 level. Roughly around there. Nice little bounce off of the VWAP there too. You're in Tiva, you said? Kind of a choppy day though for most of these. Now for this one, I could use a risk and get in on the VWAP bounce at 54. If I get in around here, about a 10-12 cent risk. Like to ride it up some, maybe a little bit too late though. SPY choppy. AMD's actually looking pretty weak now, though. I mean, it would have given me that 1-to-1, but barely. But now it's looking a little bit weak here. Like I said, that 54 level is interesting to me for a risk point. Another thing I'm looking at with these is that a lot of the times, it's a gap fill strategy, right? So what we got today was a gap fill on AMD, and a lot of times the gap fill actually works pretty well. So for instance, like today would have been a gap fill, and then if we go back in time and look at some of these other moves, a lot of these were gap fills as well.
Gonna cover some here between 55 and 52.
Oh, you're in.
Depending on the spread here.
Here, let me pull you
on
up.
Tiva.
Here, you can share it if you want. I'll pull you up. Can you hear me? Mitch can't hear me. You can share it, brother, if you want. There you go. There we go. All right, Mitch is in Tiva. Looking good for you, though, man. How many did you take? You there, Mitch? Can you hear me, bro? Test, test. I don't know if Mitch can hear me.
There you go. Sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're good. Looking good for you, though, man. What's your risk?
65s. I got in at 58s and 62s. Averaged to 18.59. Took some profit there at 53. Seeing a downward action right here. I'm going to use this downward trend line to risk now off my 860, a little bit above it maybe. It's all based on this candle right here. So right now it's 1862, my risk. And I'm going to let this work here. I'm willing to add back those 200 shares back at 1861, 1860, so that I can maybe get a nice home run here.
Yeah, it looks good for you, man. See if it breaks down under that $50 for you.
It's really about the SPY here, I think, here. You're seeing the SPY. My biggest thing that I was going to watch today is 15-minute chart on the SPY only, and let it break 264s to show me a real bearish sign. It's at the support right now, but 264s would show that real significant push.
Yep, looks good.
Some people could pay themselves right here a little bit more and then try to add the shares back. I'm looking to see if this 50s are going to crack first.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at AMD to see if it breaks these lows. If it breaks these lows, maybe I'll consider it, but I kind of missed the opening range breakout this morning. Also, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, I think the 20% off New Year's sale is done, but you could still get 10% off if you go through my link. And so if you're interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, you can check out TradeNet, and I'll post that link here.
Nice hold to that support there at 55. Quick rejection there.
That's rough top. What's wrong with Robinhood? I haven't checked it this morning.
All right, the SPY breaking that low. Now we want to see it hold that 264.30 and head to that 264 line.
All right, I'm looking at AMD here for a green to red move.
Our APHA looked great today. MBEV is interesting right now.
All right, I'm looking at AMD to see if it holds these lows. If it holds these lows, I'll consider it.
MU was a nice one too, but never went back to VWAP. Got close.
All right, I'm in with 200 shares on AMD. Risk is going to be around 2050 or so. All right, two-way. Have a good day, brother. See you tomorrow, man, hopefully.
There's a SPY heading to those 264s there. 264.06 now. It breaks those 264s. That's a strong support there.
Yeah, it's dropping for sure.
MBV interesting also.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about
DVAX interesting also.
a lot of people talking about
Check that one out, John. It's just tight risk. If it bounces back to 1197, could risk off of 1203. This stock, when it crashes, it goes.
DVAX. I don't think it's tradable for us, huh?
NIO, maybe if it bounces back one more time. AMD, if it bounces back, but not. That's a little bit tighter.
Yeah, I'm in short on AMD once it broke these lows, but I'm gonna give it a pretty tight risk of like 50 or so. Looking for the green to red move, but we'll see. Want to see it hold down here. If not, I could just get out for a small loss today. I should have taken the opening range breakout this morning. Would have worked fairly well, giving me just enough profit to get out for that 1-to-1 move, but that's how it goes. Gotta look for AMD to hold this $0.50. If not, just get out. Appreciate the sub, Mike. Welcome, bro. Appreciate it, man. If it's your first time here, we day trade live on stream every weekday morning. And so appreciate the subscribe, man.
NIO up there to the VWAP.
NIO.
Yep. My trade Tiva's up at VWAP.
Yeah, NIO is up there. IRBT thoughts? Alright, it's up to 2050. I'll let it test this level and then get out if it cleanly breaks it. Yeah, NIO didn't look like a bad fade up here with a 62, 61 cent risk. Or not 62, 63, 64 cent risk. It didn't look terrible. Alright, letting it test this support level that I drew. Give it a little bit more time. Probably going to get out soon here. I'm going to get out. All right, $48 loss. Probably shouldn't have even gotten in that trade, but I think I let my emotions get the best of me when I missed out on the opening range.
Oh, you got to stick to the strategy.
Yeah, for sure. Could be a rejection there, but I'll probably just wipe my hands of it and be done for the day. Not really feeling the hottest right now.
A lot of volume stepping in there.
Just glad I took smaller sizing, so it was a smaller loss today.
Let's see where this next candle takes off here. Next 15-minute candle on the SPY. Very important. I feel.
Oh, are you still in Tiva?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Using my house money. I'm still above the stock where it is right now, and I feel like I can even add to this position. So
yeah, it's
that's why I'm not stressing it right now.
It's the SPY. Yeah, it's the SPY pulling up to the VWAP. If the SPY gets rejected here, it'll probably work out for you.
Yeah, it'll be a good trade. If it goes down through this 264s right there, I wanted to break that support again. Boom, and now hit through the lows. right through the lows. That's what we want to see it on the 15-minute chart. And it's okay. I can risk all the way up to 64s. I'm willing to add up to 62s. And then try to get this down to these 50s again through it. The real key is I got overall trend on my side, and that's why I'm sticking with my trade right now. Oof, look at Kron. Man, that made a VWAP rejection. VWAP reject.
Yeah, I did. That was a nice one too. No stress, Sid. It's a small loss relative to the sizing I've been using. Like I said, I know the mistake I made today. I've been in a little slump the last week and a half or so. But slumps happen. I mean, I'm not, like I said last week, like I make enough to be able to get another student account if I need to. And, I'm just working on trying to be profitable as most traders are. And so learning things along the way, I'm not super stressed out about it. Don't really feel the hottest today. Only biggest thing I did wrong today was I didn't get in the opening range breakout like I should have. That would have been the one successful one. And that's what I've been trying to do is test the opening range. And so if I learned anything today, it is to stick with the strategy. Don't let small time swings affect the strategy that I'm looking to implement.
Yep, I would have to agree with that statement 100%.
Because it's like this, right? With any strategy, you're going to have, it's a random distribution of wins and losses, right? So if you let a few losses in a row affect your strategy and affect you getting in your strategy, you're going to miss out on the distribution of wins that you should have had. And like that's what you're seeing today with AMD. I let last week affect my taking the trade on AMD today, and ended up missing out on a successful opening range for it. There's the SPY dropping down for you, man. It should be good for you here. The SPY completely washed out. Had a little VWAP fade on the SPY. So it should drop for you here, I would think. Yeah, I mean, insurance, like, here's the thing. Like, I back tested the opening range, and what I was so frustrated with last week was that I back tested it, and it had like a 76% accuracy rate, right, for the opening range over a 4-month sample size, right? And in that time, over those 4 months, the opening range breakout hadn't failed 3 times in a row that entire 4 months. Like, it had not worked 3 consecutive days in a row in 4 months. And so then last week, when I finally start to use live money, that's the 1 week out of 4 months that the strategy doesn't work 3 consecutive days in a row. And so bad luck, I think, is what it was. I think I decided to start using the strategy with live money on the 1 week that it didn't work as well. And so bad luck is what it is, I think. And then maybe it's going to start working. I mean, it worked this morning. It would have followed through. But it is what it is, Like I said, I'm working on being profitable. That's all I can do. Mitch and I never claim to be experts or gurus. Some people hate on us and say, well, you shouldn't be having classes or whatever they want to say. But our classes are meant to teach new people how to trade. Like, we're trying to help beginners, learn. And so we never claim to be experts or gurus. I'm still working on being profitable myself, And like, that's all I can do is just keep striving, keep trying to back test, and keep learning. I think that's all any trader can do. But we're honest about it.
All right, guys, got to be careful. If I see 66 fills here. There's 66 filling. I got to get out. Took a hit there. We got reversal on Tiva.
Yeah, but it should have been break even close to it, huh?
It's a little under. I added to it right there, so I lost a little bit, but It was looking really good. We're just getting a rejection up there to the resistance. Can't hold the 70 there. Supposed to reject off the 65s, but I got a fake out there. I got a fake wick that went down all the way to 55s, and that's when I added. I don't know if you were watching my screen, but
Yeah, I was.
I got a fake wick. You can go back and you can see it. I don't know if that was Tef's, but I definitely got a fake wick out there. And that's what made me tap in to add my sizing. So just gotta let it go. Is what it is. Definitely there was a little fake out there. Something happened. A little annoyed, but can't do nothing about it now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't stress it, bro. You know.
Yep. AMD looks great too.
I was actually looking at that one. But yeah, it's kind of in that transitional period where it's like I back tested the setup. It worked today. I don't know whether I should attack it tomorrow or not. I think that if I'm going to test it, I need to just be I just need to commit to it. And today it would have worked. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if today it would have worked, right? So let's get the full picture here. Let me clear this. So the opening range breakout, you look for a 1-to-1, right? So 65 versus 37.
I want to tank. Yep.
And so 60
the action.
So 27 cents would have been my reward target. So from 65, 85 plus 7 would be 92. 92. So yeah, it would have just got me that 1-to-1 reward to risk target that I was looking for on AMD, but it would have been a successful one for sure, and I just missed it. It's kind of how it goes.
I'm annoyed. I might have gotten faked out by a couple cents here.
Some people say teaching is a great thing.
Tanking. Everything's tanking.
Yeah, I'm just glad I got out with a small loss today.
MBEV was so nice today. Annoyed that I didn't get into that one. I've been stuck in this one for a while.
Live teaching helps for sure. It's hard to find folks that are into trading. Most are long-term robots. Yeah, like for sure. Like Mitch and I have been trading for years, you know, and it's a process for sure. We've had our good weeks, we've had our bad weeks, our good months, bad months, and so forth and so on. And so we're just trying to help new traders learn, you know. Like we're not trying to be experts, and we're really not trying to sell people on like $1 million strategy. You know, what we're trying to sell people on is like back testing and using risk and reward. I think those two things will drastically improve, you know, your trading. And so it's just a process for sure. Some people are going to hate because let's be real here, you know, Mitch and I are the realest YouTubers out here that are actually streaming. You know what I mean? Like we're the only people that show people our account balance, our profit and loss in all the trades. You know, you got other people that are streaming, but they're hiding their account balance. They're not showing you their actual trades. They're just calling out like, yeah, I'm in this stock or I'm in this stock. And there's a reason they're hiding everything else. And so with that, people are going to hate because they get threatened by what we do. And that's fine. I'm looking at Cron here. It may go up testing this VWAP area. Staff is right up there too. The good thing about Cron is that you could use about a 62-cent risk, getting in at 1547, and so your risk is about, what is that, 15 cents. Your reward level could at least be down to 1520 or so. From this pre-market support, and so let's see, what is that, 47 down to 1520. That would be 27 cents with a 15-cent risk. Just about 2-to-1 reward to risk if it can get back up there. Well, no, I mean, people show live trades insurance, but like people don't show the actual like execution of the trade, right? They may say, "Hey, I'm in this trade," or "Hey, I'm in this trade," but they don't actually show the actual broker's execution of it and the profit and loss and everything like that. At least most people don't. Some people will upload the video after the fact, but it's really easy to cherry pick those and just, you could take 2 losses and 1 win and then upload the 1 win and say, look how much money I made today, when really they took 2 losses prior to that. They're just not showing that.
Ron, getting interesting here.
What's up, Track Racer? Good morning, man. Yeah, that's what I was looking at, Kron, too. Risk of
1560 right now.
62,
If it gets to 50s.
I might take it with the small size in Kron, but it's going to be a small size. It's got to get up to like 45 at least. 47 is really the goal. Right, insurance. Yeah, a lot of people don't, though, man. Like, a lot of people aren't going to show their live trades because here's the thing, right? Like, you'll have traders that try to live stream and, like, show everything, and then, like, they'll take a bunch of losses and they can't really handle people watching them lose. And so, like, they'll stop live streaming and then they'll start uploading their trades after the fact. Like, oh, I lost 4 times last week, but all of a sudden I don't have a green day in months once I stop live streaming. And it's just kind of the way the YouTube world is. People don't want to be real because it's going to hurt their brand. And so when you have people that like Mitch and I who are actually real about it, you get some hate because people, traders aren't used to seeing how it really is. Traders are used to seeing nonstop green days from people that cherry pick their winners and upload them, right? So when you get somebody that's honest about it, they're not expecting it, and so they think we're terrible traders or they think we suck, when really it's just we're being honest. Look at that Kron CGC here. Both of these look okay. Kron would have to get up to the 40s. I don't know if it's going to, though. May find that resistance here at 40 right there.
An AMD fade though. Is a reject, but it was a nice one.
Lucas, my account is $4 away from losing the ability to margin, so boy am I happy. Hey brother, you made it. Oh yeah, for sure, Track Racer. You should have seen us last week, man. We had tons of haters in here last week. It is what it is, though. I mean, I think if you stream, you're just going to have to expect it, which I do to a certain extent. Search engine optimization words, Mike? What do you mean, bro? But yeah, Track Racer, man, we had a guy last week that went to my site and found the one misspelled word in my site and then tried to make fun of me for one misspelled word on my site. All I can really do is laugh at him, though. But yeah, he literally went to my site, found the one misspelled word, and then tried to talk smack to me about it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know a little bit of SEO, just working on websites and stuff. Appreciate it, Guzman. Thanks, brother. Welcome, bro.
All right, new 15-minute candle for the SPY. Let's see if it just cuts this and cuts the low. It's really close to the bottom, so that's the important part. Kron making a huge turn down also. Let's see what happens here. Either we're going to get a strong bounce up to the VWAP or we're going to get a move down through the 263.50s.
You must be on SureTrader, Lucas, right? You said that $500 margin limit. I'm assuming you're on SureTrader. I remember being on SureTrader having to follow the $500 margin. Yeah. Yeah, Jason. I mean, it's like I said last week, man. Anytime you do something cool, people are going to hate on it because they're mad that they didn't do it. You know what I mean? And, like, that's what we get. People are mad that they didn't do it. And so all they know how to do is hate. Yeah, man. I have a few videos on SureTrader, Lucas. It's like SureTrader has its uses, though, man. Like SureTrader does have its uses. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm hating on SureTrader. I actually love the DOS Pro platform, but for a trader with $1,500, it's just expensive. It's hard to make it work, you know, because you got the hundred and something dollar platform, you got commissions, you know, and so it's just hard to make it work. But I understand why some people use it for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it, Amy. Yeah, I mean, we just try to be real with people, you know. We just try to be honest with people about it, you know. Like people can hate on us for doing classes or whatever they want to hate on, but like we never claim to be experts or gurus. Like obviously we're still working on being profitable ourselves. You know, we're not trying to sell $1 million strategy for thousands of dollars. Like that's not what we're doing at all, and we're definitely not getting rich off of it. And so people hate. It is what it is. But you know, the cool thing though is like for every hater that we have, we probably have 10 people that really support the channel. And so it's just, the haters are just a little bit louder, you know? And I'm proud of the community I built here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it for sure. Something I'm super passionate about, obviously. And so... Look, there he is. Hey guys, if you were wondering who the hater was, there he is, but I'm just going to hide him here. Yeah, there he is. This is the thing though, right? Like this is what you really got to understand about people like that though. Like for this dude to make 10 YouTube accounts, right? This dude gets banned, makes another one. This dude has literally made like 10 or 15 fake accounts just to troll me, right? For him to have that much time in his day to worry that much about what we're doing here, the dude's got to be super insecure, man. Like super insecure, you know. And it's one of those things where I kind of feel bad for the dude because it's like the dude's making like that. That's how the dude's spending his morning, right? And so I just gotta feel bad for the guy, man. You know, like I don't think I've ever spent that much time trying to hate on anybody in my life, you know. And for the fact that he does, and the fact that he thinks it's reasonable to do that is funny. Yeah, like the dude's literally made like 15 fake accounts. I just want to be like, bro, like what is going on in your life right now where you feel like that's a reasonable thing to do? You know what I mean? Like what is going on in your life right now that you think that's like a reasonable way to be? Yeah, for sure, Mike. I agree with you there, bro. So like, yeah, I'm looking at Cron. If it gets up to 45, I'll consider it with a risk up here at like 62, and then a reward target at least down to either 15 is what I'm thinking now. I think that's reasonable. Good risk reward for sure. The longer it consolidates up here, though, the less I really like it. And so we'll see, you know. Appreciate it, Adam. Thanks, Mike. Any crossover methods? I've looked at crossovers of the VWAP before. I haven't really tested it as much as I would like to. And so I've looked at crossovers of the VWAP. Haven't looked at it extensively though. Yeah, MDWD has been popping up. I know somebody's been talking about that one. Nice little run there. Nice little washout long. That one didn't look terrible. I'm looking at the chart, Michael. So, like, I'm looking at major support and resistance on the chart. Like, for instance, to use Cron as an example, I'm looking at entering around the VWAP and looking at the most obvious reversal point, which would be up here at around 1562. And so that area is my risk. And then I'm looking at the next major support level, which probably would be 15 down here. And so that, like, for instance, if I gave that as my risk and reward, my risk from 45 up to 62 would be my risk. So this is my risk here. And then my reward would be from 45 down to 15. So this is my reward. So my reward's bigger than my risk. And, like, that's what I'm looking at based off of the chart specifically. So does that make sense? Yeah, no stress, Michael. Yeah, and the whole point of doing risk reward, Michael, is to, you know, put less pressure on you with regards to like your accuracy rate, right? So like even if you're only 50% accurate, like if you're only half accurate, 50%, right? But you're giving yourself 2-to-1 reward to risk. Your reward's two times your risk in each trade. Then even if you're only 50% accurate, you'll still be profitable, right? So like that's the entire point of using good risk and reward. And it's just a way to it's some people call it a stop level, but I like to use the word risk. Gurav, I mean, it's just you're looking at the chart, Gurav. Like you're looking at the major support and resistance on the chart. Like in this case on NBEV, $15 seems reasonable because it's the whole dollar. It's also the low of this opening range on a 1 minute chart, right? So like if I extend this to the left, you can see lots of confirmation in pre-market. So you have confirmation on that reward target here at the open, here in pre-market, here in pre-market. And so you get a lot of confirmation at that $15 level, here the previous day. And so you're just looking for confirmation based off of the chart. A lot of times it's going to be at half and whole dollar levels.
All right. Seems like we're gonna move back up there.
SPY back up to the VWAP.
Yep. So got another stop out there. Can't do much about it.
Oh wait, you ran a trade?
Yeah, small trade right there on Tiva.
No, don't stress it.
Looking for it to break down there. Just got squeezed out again. It keeps giving me these fake wicks. I don't know where it's coming from, but
VWAP is the volume weighted average price. So it's essentially like a moving average with volume taken into consideration. But the real reason I like the VWAP more is because like with moving averages, you have all these different options. You have the 9, the 12, the 15, the 20, the 25, so forth and so on, right? And so you have all these different options. And like in day trading, you're just day trading is one of those things where you kind of want to move with the herd because you're going to have more momentum if you're looking at what everybody else is looking at. And with so many different options for moving averages, it's hard to kind of guess what everybody else is looking at, right? But with the VWAP, it's just one most of the time. And so, like, you're looking at the same VWAP that everybody else is looking at. And so, in turn, it may have a little bit more momentum to go in your direction. The VWAP on mine. Yeah, Cron. I'm looking at Cron for sure. If I take it, it'll just be like 100 shares, though. All right, I'm in with 100 shares on Cron with a risk of, like I said, that up here level of 62 or so. Reward target's going to be right around 15. And so this will be a good example of like risk and reward. Ideally, though, the SPY would turn around some here. That's kind of what I'm shooting for, is the SPY to turn back around and get rejected off of this VWAP. If the SPY starts to really push over the VWAP, it may stop me out, which is okay. I took a small sizing for that reason. Yes, Johnny. Yeah, I'm shorting Cron. Tight risk, though. Very small risk of 60s, 62, basically. SPY coming down some off the VWAP, so maybe a little bit better, but PCG? I'm surprised PCG is really still around, though. But, man, look at PCG go today, though, man. This one shot up for sure.
There you go. Looking good for you, brother.
Probably a little bit, Adam. It's just, of course, you're gonna have more emotions when you use real money, and I think that is something I'm probably experienced a little bit more. Still a little bit early to tell. Regardless of what happens, it's good for my emotional kind of learning. Where not only you could paper trade a strategy all you want, but you're never going to get the feel for the real emotions you're gonna have when you actually start trading with real money. And so yeah, I mean, still getting used to the emotions, obviously. Excuse me. I feel like crap. I usually stick to like the first hour or so, Adam. I don't really try to trade over an hour into the market. Maybe hour and a half tops. Nice, Mikhail. What's up, brother? But yeah, this one I took smaller sizing. I'm not trying to risk big. I think the risk reward plan is reasonable. Does look like it's going to break out on the upside, though. Just got to stick to my risk. That's all I can really do in it.
What's your risk?
62.
Okay.
Yeah, but even so, Sid, you're still never going to feel the same way as real money, right? Like, even if you try to emulate it exactly like you do with real money, you're still not going to get the same emotions that you do with real money. It's just, you're going to be thinking differently. You're going to be stressed a little bit more with real money. So, like, no matter how closely you try to emulate your trading with a paper account, it's just not going to be the same. Um, you're going to have way different emotions when you're in the trade, and those are going to sway your decision making a little bit than you would with a paper trading account. Like with a paper account, you might be willing to hold it a little bit longer, let it test your risk area, think a little bit more clearly. But once you start using real money, it's all going to change. Um, and it's kind of the process of conditioning yourself to be okay with trading real money, and it's a process for sure. Yeah, real money is where your real emotions come out. Paper trading is good for a few things. Mostly, paper trading is really good for like back testing, working on your plan. Working on establishing your risk and reward in the trades and so forth and so on. Real monies though is when the real emotions come out, and a lot of times it's it's just different. You know. All right, we're squeezing up here. I'm gonna let it test that risk area I gave myself, but it's getting pretty close. Hopefully it gets rejected. If not, I just gotta stick to my risk here. It's getting pretty close. Went right up to my risk. Like I said, I'll let it test, but gotta get out pretty soon here if it squeezes back up.
We tried to short there in 60s. I didn't get filled though. Tried to short there at 60 or at 61.
All right, so it's confirming that risk level, but I still have to be pretty tight with it. Um, Usually what I want to see here, though.
I wanted that 60. Didn't fill me.
I like the confirmation, but it's still pretty close here. It could easily squeeze up quickly.
Yep.
59, 60s.
All right, let's see if it rejects off these levels.
Got my hand over the cover button. It's confirming it nice. Like, ideally, if it washed out here, it'd be great, but it's super close.
The trade would be right there off of 66 there.
So, nice little confirmation there.
I missed it.
Now it makes well. This is the good thing about it though for me is it makes my trade much easier now because it actually went right up to my risk, confirmed it, and so it makes my trade much easier. Now if it breaks that previous high, super easy trade to follow now, and I could just get out for an easy trade to follow. So that's the good thing about it. It's gonna test this $half though. I think it has to break under the $half at 15.50. And so we'll let it test this level, but if not, very easy trade to follow now because if it breaks that high, that's my risk. Happy birthday, Sync. Happy birthday, brother. All right, so it's gonna try to find support at this $0.50 and then push up, and so at this point I got to be pretty careful with it. Like I said, ideally I'd like to see it break under the 1550 level. I want to see it break under the $0.50 and hold under that level. That's kind of the goal here.
It's looking nice if you get a fade off the SPY here. I kind of like it. I wish I was closer to 60 if I got in this one, but it is pretty nice. It's a good setup for a 60 cent down move.
Yeah, I think if it breaks this high here, though, if it finds support at the $0.50 at 1550 and then breaks, it's going to be much worse. And I just got to stick to my risk at this point. It confirmed my risk, which is always good, but I still got to be pretty tight with it if it does break that level.
Yep.
Yeah, this is where I got to be careful, though. It's starting to squeeze. Like I said, though, it makes it really easy, though. This confirmation right here makes it really easy. So, like, now if it breaks this 65 cent level, that's just time for me to exit. All right, there we go. See if it holds under the $0.50 now is the thing. It just broke back under it.
Oh, you looking good, brother.
Still too early to tell. If it bounces at the VWAP here, it might be a VWAP bounce play.
Yep.
But let's see if it holds under the $0.50 now. Because if it bounces here, it's bouncing off the $0.50 still. It washed out some, but big down wick. Some buying pressure coming in. Alright, this is where I got to be careful. It's squeezing back up. Quick rejection there. Hopefully it finds some resistance here, but it's still looking pretty strong. Back up to 60s.
Yeah. Caught up there. Lots of volume there.
Yeah, I just got to stick to this level. It's getting close. Yeah, Marley's unhappy, bro.
He's drinking water.
Alright, there's a wash back down. So it held that risk level again. We'll see what we get now. It's kind of consolidating here. Now, super easy to follow, though. It's given me this high and tested this high 3 times now. And so if it breaks that high, super easy. back up to 60s.
I like how the SPY made a move back down to the low on the
Yeah.
15. That's actually a good sign there. Just needs to hold these levels here. All right, let's see these 63s reject here.
Longer it stays up here, the less I like it. So we'll see. Like I said, a very easy trade to follow. It's got this triple top right here, this double top, and so if it breaks that, time to get out.
I like that action right there.
Yeah, still consolidating.
There were some big shorts there, 55s. Some volume came in there, 55s, 3,300 shares. Let's see if it consolidates up there. I wouldn't mind even adding to this position as long as you base your risk correctly.
Nah, I'm not adding to it.
Depends where your entry is.
All right, there's 62s, 63s, 64s. Looks like it's going to break out here.
Yeah, above 65s.
I'm out. Yeah, small loss on that last trade. But yeah, definitely been in a little slump lately, but slumps happen. Just got to continue working on improving. That's all I can really do. I think that was the reasonable area to get out, but regardless, it was a good example
100%.
of how to calculate risk and reward.
Just more and more. You know, we keep getting these kind of trend reversals and no continuation. That's what I've been seeing. Even when we do get in our trades, we've been in the green, but we can't get what we normally do, which is take some profit and then take second profit. And most of my trades lately, it's been take first profit and it goes back to my entry. Take first profit and it goes back to my entry. Or we're getting the quick stop outs where we're not even getting that action down.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the opening range breakout on AMD this morning, you can tell other traders are actually using it, right? The way you can tell is because if you look at it, you know, this first candle was 27 cents, right? It went exactly 27 cents higher to the cent, to the very cent, and then got rejected here. So you know some traders are exiting at that 27 cent one-to-one target. And so I missed out on that this morning, but aside from that, so day. Small loss relative to the sizing I'm using. So that'll be it for the day, guys. Like I said, if anybody's interested in using the broker that Mitch and I use, check out this link. I think the 20% off sale is done, but you can still get 10% off if you go through my link, and I appreciate it if you do. And so if you're interested in using TradeNet, which is the broker that Mitch and I use, you can go to that link right there and check it out. Yeah, Jason. Hey, man, listen. Like I said, Jason, and I'm sure he can hear me, but I feel kind of bad for the dude, man. You know, like regardless of how my trading goes, right? Like I built a cool community here, you know, and no matter what he wants to say, he's just butthurt that he didn't do it. You know, like he's just butthurt that he couldn't do it, and so Yeah, like I said, I kind of feel bad for the dude, man. You know, if you make 20 fake accounts just to troll somebody online, your life's kind of got to be in shambles, I would think. You know, and so I feel bad for you, man. I hope you get those issues worked out, brother. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. So good luck, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.